Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Michele Jutrisa and I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up here in New South Wales, Australia. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm glad you're able to jump on. Let me just get rid of my computer keyboard there. Please jump on, say hello, let us know where you're from because it's always great to welcome new people. So today what I'm going to play with is a new product out, and I'm just going to bring it here and bring it up on screen for you so you can see it. And this is called Heirloom Arrangements Kit. So this is part of our kit collection that Stampin' Up carry. I've only just opened it this morning, so I just had a quick look of it through it with another customer that I had here. And I thought today what we would do is we would open this up, have a look at it, and maybe make a card or two. Now, this kit is very different to a lot of our other kits. There's a slightly higher price point. It's $41 for the kit, but you can make 8 cards out of this kit. Now, the other day, Sarah from Stampin' Up used this kit, and she actually created 25 cards. And I'll explain that a little bit more as we go along. She added a few more card bases using the mini card. Trying to think now what they're called. Sorry, my brain is a bit frazzled. The cards, and let me look it up here for us. Cards and envelopes. And if I go to the back, it will tell me exactly where I'll find the cards and envelopes. So we are looking for page 107. It's a great index in this book. So we have got not what I was quite expecting on that page. Okay, let me have a look. We've got note cards. That's what I'm looking for. Note cards and envelopes. Here we go, page 17 at the very front. Sometimes this new catalogue used to always be at the back. Okay, so we've got note cards and envelopes. There's $17.50 for a packet, and I think there is about 20 or so note cards and envelopes in there. So she used some note cards and envelopes, some extra cardstock for sentiments, and used the 8 card bases that were in the kit, and she managed to get 25 cards out. So it's really a good kit. Now, the idea of this kit is it's a lot of layering of lots of very beautiful bits and pieces, and they've all got a vintage or heirloom theme to it. So I'm just making sure that we've got chat up there. Yep, no one's jumped on us yet, but that's okay. So what do we get in this kit? So to start off with, we get a nice little stamp set in this kit, and this just gives us a bit of an idea of what is in that stamp set. So we've got a bit of a background stamp, we've got a little butterfly, and a few different sentiments. Thankful and grateful. I appreciate your kindness. Thank you for you, and I feel lucky to have you. Some really nice little sentiments in there. You also get a stamp spot, and the stamp spot is in pecan pie. So a nice little stamp spot there, and I actually haven't brought my stamp over, so I'm going to open this up now because I will be needing this. So I'm just going to run a pair of scissors or something along that adhesive sticker there, and we should be able to lift that up. Whoops, maybe I need something a little bit more firmer. There we go, and there's our stamp spot. So I'm going to use that today. But if you've got the pecan pie stamp, that's quite good to use as well. It also has a little bag here that has a stamp block in it. So let me just grab that. So there's a stamp block that you can use. It has some tear and tape. It also has some dimensionals. it comes with an instruction sheet which tells us or shows us images of how the cards can look when they're finished. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to do your cards as decorative as these ones. As I said, Sarah did hers and used the components of these cards to make 25 cards. Now, she only really had around about 2 layers on each card. So you can pop on here as much or as little as you like. You can also add a few extra pieces to it if you want. It gives you here in the instructions for 2 of the cards of what they've done, just so that you can get the flow of it. And then they've given you added images of the other completed cards here. So as I said, it's very much free to do what you want. You don't need to follow all these instructions because they've really only given them for 2 cards. So you can put together what you want. Hello, Nicole. Hello, Marjorie. How are you going? You love this kit. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I just couldn't wait to get hold of it. But I'm also going to be doing something which I'll explain to you in a minute. For those who want to buy this through me, I'm doing something a little bit exciting with it. But we'll get to that in a second. Okay, it also comes in this kit. You have got 8 envelopes, and they are slightly different. So you've got 4 with this image on the inside, and then we have 4 with just like that hash on, which is like the stamp set on the inside of that one. But 8 beautiful envelopes. So let me pop that over to one side. And then we have all of these amazing die cuts. So let me just take this out. As I said, I've only just had a flick through this. So let's just have a look through here. Now, I have got cards in between some of these die cuts just to protect them a little bit. So I will show you the card bases as we go through. So you have this sheet here of die cuts, which is really beautiful, beautiful sort of watercolor type effects. Just gorgeous. I just think I really want to do a scrapbook page with this. This is what I really want to do. Then you have a tag and some butterflies and some more floral images there. Some other tags in ephemera that you can use. I think there is so much you can do with this. A few more, some here just in like a very basic beige and black, some just in the green and white. Again, some more water wash type. So if you really love that heritage sort of look, hello Jean, Joan, sorry, how are you going? It's really nice. Now this is what I really love. Look at this, so delicate. These are on vellum, and again with that beautiful water wash effect. Let me just put one of these card bases underneath it so you can really see that. Aren't they just gorgeous? It's just going to give such a delicate effect to your cards or scrapbook pages. And then we have a couple of card bases in a pinker tone. Got some more ephemera there, couple of more tags. We have got some basic white sentiment spots. So you've got some in circles and a couple of different sizes in rectangles. So I don't know whether you can see those. Let me just pop one of them out. These are just all die cuts, so they're all quite easily. So you've got that little circle. Tag. And a slightly bigger sentiment tag as well. So they're the 3 sizes that comes in. Then we have our second card base. So you've got 2 of those as well. Some more of our ephemera. This one here is a frame. So Sarah the other day took this frame out. Took the center out. So you had that frame there. But also then she used this piece here, which would normally be a piece you'd probably throw away or something like that, or even use it as a sentiment. But she used that on another card. Hello, Deborah. How are you? Ha, Nicole, I'm in the same boat. I'm already planning. So to get a couple of more packs of this. Then we have these card bases here. So you have two of this one here with the pink toning in the background. And then you've got two in the brown. Now, of course, you could also cut these in half and use them as card fronts on other cards. There's lots of options there of what you can do. So that is what is in the Heirloom Arrangement Kit. Now, to let you know what I'm doing. Now, it's $41 to purchase this kit from Stampin' Up. I will be, for this month, I haven't actually done a flyer as yet, but I will be doing one, so it will be on my websites. So if you are following me on Facebook, you will see that hopefully sometime over this weekend. I have got a friend of mine who has been raising money for, it's called Ping Pong-A-Thon. Bit of a mouthful. And what they do is they raise money to send to countries where they're dealing with a lot of human trafficking, human slavery, and they are trying to nip it in the bud through supporting other networks, other agencies, I suppose you could call them, that are trying to stamp out a lot of this, trying to help these young boys and girls who have been caught up in the slave trade industry for many years, trying to get them out, trying to re-educate them or give them an education, because a lot of them come from areas where education is just way out of their realm of what they can afford or even get to. So my goal over the next month and a half, of the rest of this month and next month, is to raise funds for the Ping Pong-A-Thon. So what I thought I would do is I have got a hostess code for everybody who purchased this kit from me. Using that hostess code, I am going to donate $7, which is what it would normally probably come back to me after postage and handling. I'm going to donate $7 for every one of these kits that is sold. So yes, Deborah, I will be buying a couple of these kits because I've already got ideas of where I can use them, because I just think these images are so beautiful. As soon as I saw this kit, I knew I had to do something special with it because it is such a broad kit. So I'm going to try to, over the next month and a half, also to make a few things, whether it be scrapbook pages, whether it be cards, come up with ideas of my own, so I can show you how this kit can be used. So if anybody, it's really only here in Australia. Now, this is not affiliated with Stampin' Up, except I'm just using a Stampin' Up product. I'm doing this as on my own. So as I said, if you use the hostess code, I will put the hostess code up hopefully sometime in the next couple of days on my Facebook page. So go over to my Facebook page and like me, and hopefully you will find that there. If you order it through that, then $7 from each of the sales will go towards the Ping Pong-A-Thon. Also, I'm hoping to hold a workshop here if anybody is in my local area and wants to contact me, you can pre-purchase a kit and bring it along, or I will have it ready for you. You do need to pay up front for it at a workshop that I will run here at in my home using this kit. So if you feel that you want to help me out in any way in raising money for this, please let me know. I will be adding a link onto my flyer, which is for Ping Pong-A-Thon, so you can actually go and have a look at their site and see what they do. It is very, very interesting. They are raising money, as I said, which then goes to other agencies in some of these countries. And not only is these things happening in other countries, but they're also happening to some extent here in Australia, or even another country in England and so forth as well. So if you want to know more about it, please just let me know, and I can give you more details. But I will add more details as time goes on, because really I'm just sort of jumping on board of this sort of straight up. I haven't really thought about it much. I've decided, yes, this is what I'm doing. So please support me if you can. Okay, so we're going to make a card using this. So I'm going to pretty much at the moment follow one of their instructions on here, and let's get creating. So as they say, I only need this one block. I have got my dimensionals, I have got my tear and tape, and I have got my stamps, and I have got my ink spot. So that's what I need. So let's have a look. So this is the first card that we're going to create. And what they're telling me I'm going to need here is, so I'm going to start off with on here, I need, I've got all those things, but I need the blue card base. So let's just grab one of those. So there is my card base. I need this hexagon. So let me just go through these and find them. There we go, straight up. So we need one of those. We also need a pink tag, and we need the blue butterfly. So let's just move on. We need the For You, which is going to be, I'd say, the smaller little sentiment tag, which is that one. So we'll move those on. Do we need anything off this sheet here? No, we don't. Don't need those ones. We need this piece here, which is this vellum one here. Oh, I just love these. And they're big enough, really. Like I said before, you can put these on a scrapbook page. They are quite big, so they will be nice on a page. They're not so small. That piece there is about 14 centimetres in height. So that will actually work really well on a scrapbook page. So we need that one. So let me just remove the vellum piece. There's another card base. We need this little floral here, which is this one. So there's quite a few layers on this. So if you like your layers, these cards will be quite good. And then we need that little butterfly, and we still need that pink tag. So you can see, if you don't like layers, you could actually separate some of these layers and make more cards, as Sarah did the other day. And if I haven't already posted that video, I will find it and I will post it up on my Facebook page. If you are following me on my YouTube, please like my YouTube page. That helps me out. And then you can head over to my Facebook page and like that one as well. Okay, so here we got all the little bits and pieces that we need. So let's get started and create this card. So we'll go back to the beginning. I'm just going to flip that over. So and we need an envelope. So the envelope that they've used is one with, there, my envelopes are over here. I'm just looking at this envelope here. It's the one, probably wouldn't matter, but it's that one there that they've used, the one with the writing and so forth inside there. I'll pop that over there. So they've done a bit of stamping. So that's the first thing we're going to do. So they've stamped on their envelope and they've stamped on their sentiment piece. So we'll pop those there and let's do this. So we need the hash piece. So let's pop that there. And we've got our, I think that's going to annoy me, so I'm going to take that right off. And we're just going to, because it's a small stamp spot, I'm taking the spot to my stamp image. And we're going to stamp, whoops, we don't want to stamp that yet. We're going to stamp that into that corner. This is on the back of our envelope. And then they've stamped, I'm going to grab another block just because the fact I can. And we're going to stamp our butterfly. And I'm going to take my stamp to that as well. Good thing I like butterflies. And I'm going to stamp that to there. So there's our envelope done. So of course, if you wanted to, what you could do is stamp on the envelope. I'd probably actually even stamp off on this one here just to lighten it up a little bit. So I might even do that. So let's just grab So I'm just going to, a bit of scratch paper over here. I'm just going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp that onto there. Grab this butterfly. And I'm going to leave that one at full strength and pop that one just there like that. Now, just be aware, I do know here in Australia, I'll probably actually hand deliver this particular card. I do know here in Australia, I learned a few years back that not all the time does, well, the post office don't like you putting a lot on the front of your card, just because the computer has to read it, and anything you put on your card could be interfere with the computer. So just be a little bit aware of that, about the amount that you put on your card. But I think that's a great idea, putting it definitely on your back, because that doesn't really matter. Now let's grab our sentiment. We'll need another block. And the sentiment they're suggesting here for this one is for you. So let me grab my for you. Now, of course, you could change up these sentiments if these sentiments don't suit. It's really up to you. Just for these first couple of cards, I'm going to follow what they've got on here. Let's ink that up. Pop that for you right in the center of that. There we go. There's all our stamping done for this card. So I'll just pop that lid back on so we don't have that drying out. Okay, so we've got our envelope and we've got our sentiment. We've got all our little bits and pieces here. So let's start putting our card together. So I'm just going to fold that in half, grab my bone folder. Give that a nice burnish. So there's our card. Now I'm actually going to, I'm just sort of thinking I'm going to spread this out a little bit, and I'm going to cut this in half. So you could use that, so you've got a beautiful card, beautiful printed card on either side, but because it's printed both sides, I'm going to get another card out of this. So I'm going to trim this down to 10 centimeters. Let me just check first off The length of each of these cards is 14, and we usually work on 14.9. So if I went, so that's about 9 centimeters difference. This one here in width is, the width of my card is almost 11. I'm actually going to cut this down to, so what, that's 14.9. I'm going to put it on a base which is going to be 10.5. So I'm going to cut this down to 9.6, I think. Okay. Now I've got some white cardstock here. Of course, you could really bring in even a little bit like a teal or a slightly darker blue would go quite well, but I'm going to use this, and I'm going to cut my card base at 10.5. And I'm going to score it at 14.9. Just bring this down a little bit so you can see. Just take my trimmer blade right out before, so I don't cut it. So I'm going to score that at 14.9, which is going to give me that as my post office hates artful envelopes, but my postie loves to deliver them. Yeah, I probably would make their day, but I just know I did a course years ago about working in an office, did it through TAFE, and one thing that they said was that, yeah, the computers can't read it if you over-decorate your front of your card. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying, just be a bit aware. Most post offices might not be too happy. Okay, so I'm going to adhere that down. Now, I could, if I wanted to, trim that down a little bit more and add a mat, but just for the sake of doing this, and I want to get this done fairly quickly, and I don't think I've got any colours here handy next to me that I could use, I'm going to stick with just using the one layer, but I'm just spreading this out a little bit more. Because now I've got this piece here left, which I can make that into another card front. Whoops, got a hair stuck in that. That's no good. Okay. So let me just pop that onto there. Now, while I'm doing that, what I am also going to do, so I'm going to cut this piece here down, again to 14.4 in length this time. And I'm going to cut this down to 10. This is sort of all a little bit unplanned because I was just going to do what they had done. But I'm going to do a little bit of stamping on here too, but I'm going to do the same as what I've done in my envelope. I'm actually going to ink this up, stamp it off onto my scratch paper here I have at the side, and I'm just going to angle that a little bit, pop that on there so it's a little bit lighter. Grab that butterfly again. Excuse me. Because we want our cards looking pretty on the inside as well. And I'm going to take that just down further into the other corner of that. Now that makes me happy. And again, if you wanted to put another mat underneath that, you could do that. You could just cut it down a little bit further by adding that piece in there too, because you don't have to add this piece in, an insert piece, but it just gives a little bit more strength because I am just using the regular standard width cardstock. I'm just trying to push that over a little bit more. So there you go. There's my card base all ready to go. Hi, Lenny. Thanks for joining. Okay, so it then tells us on here we need to put some tearing tape. So I've got that here, and it's suggesting that we pop some onto the back of this. You could also use your seal because that is actually quite wide. So let's just pop a little bit of tearing tape there. So we need to put a bit of tape on the back of that one. They're suggesting on this floral piece here, we pop a bit of tape. They're suggesting that on our this piece here, a piece of tearing tape top and bottom. And I mean, I don't think there's any reason why you couldn't even add a few more. I mean, the butterfly is going to get popped up on dimensionals, but you probably could add dimensionals on some other parts if you wanted to. Now, this piece here, I'm actually not going to use tearing tape on that. You've got to be very careful with vellum that you add your adhesive where it can be hidden. I'm actually going to use my seal, and I'm going to pop that on when I come to do it. So just for the fact that I think sometimes the seal does hide a little bit better. It's probably one of the better tapes that I have found for using on vellum. So let's start popping all this together, and we need some dimensionals on this little fellow as well. So let's just grab, and they're saying you only need 2. So let's pop one there, one there, and our sentiment, they're also suggesting to place 2 on the back of that as well. Now I reckon you can also even, if you wanted to, add a little bit of, and I've got some baker's twine here, and I'm going to grab out, might use the white one. So let's have a look. We might even pop a little bit of baker's twine onto this. So let's see what we've got to pop on here first. So they're saying that we need to pop this hexagon piece on first. So let's take backing off that. And that pretty much goes, it doesn't look like it's quite in the middle. It's looking like it goes up towards the top a little bit. But that's going to sit about there. Then our tag. I just love the heirloom, the heritage look of all of these. You've got some really nice old black and white photos. And I've just printed up some ones of my mother, and I can see actually that I'm going to be using some of this to decorate those photos. Okay, that one there goes about there. So let me just bring this in so you can see. So this is where I'm up to. So I've popped those pieces on there like that. Then this vellum piece is going to go on, and that's going to go up to the side of that. So this is where I want to use my seal, and I'm only going to pop it where they've suggested putting it anyway. I'm going to make sure I've got the right way. That's the right way, because with vellum, excuse me, it can very, very quickly lose which is the right side, which is the wrong side. So I'm going to pop that one. That looks like that's going to go at about there. Then we have this floral piece. Now this one here, because it's going to go down on the vellum, it will help to hold the vellum down. And that's going slightly at an angle. Sometimes it's a shame to cover some of this up. Now this is where I think I might add a bow. So I'm going to make a nice biggish sort of bow, I think, and a loose one. So I'm not really wanting it to be sort of a bow so much as just another element of thread. So let me grab my scissors here. And the butterfly is going to go there like that. And I want that bow to go underneath that butterfly. So I'm just having a look at. So I'm going to pop a glue dot, I think, underneath that. It is going to look awesome. I think these are just magnificent. I'm not a great kit person, but this just really spiked my interest. I think it's gorgeous. So I'm going to pop that there. And my bow is going to sit right on top of that. And then that can go on top of that like that. Let's just trim these down a little bit. And then our sentiment. Now this would make a beautiful card to go with a gift. Anything like that. And that's just going to go across there like that. I think actually they've put theirs slightly higher up, so I've probably gone a little bit lower down with my sentiment, but isn't that stunning? Love it. Okay, let's do another one, because they've given us examples of two here, so let's go for the next one. Okay, so the next one is using more of the pink base. So what I might do, have I got any more white cardstock here? Don't know whether I have or not. Yes, I've actually even got it scored. So let's take this one. So this is a book fold. What I have here. Now, I just need to check my measurements on this one because I didn't cut it. Well, I haven't cut it for a while, so that's 14.9 by my 10.5. So I'm going to cut this one the same size as I cut the other one, which was 10. And we trimmed off a bit of length. I'm trying to work out now, what did we trim off? I think I went to, let's have a quick look, remeasure this up just to see what length I trimmed it at. I trimmed that at look, pretty much 14 centimetres. I think I did it at 13.9, but 14 centimetres would do it quite well. It's about a centimetre. No, that's already the right size. Let me just double check. Have my card opening the right way. That would work. That will work. I'm leaving it at that because it's at 14 by 10.5. I thought I cut it a bit smaller than that, but maybe I didn't. Maybe in the end I forgot to make that measurement, or I left it. I can't remember. Hello, Glenda. How are you? So let's pop that one onto there. Probably could have trimmed up my cardstock a little bit narrow. I think that's actually what I did. I think the other one's a bit narrower than 10. That will do. That will do. And then this piece we're going to pop in the center. So we need to trim this down a little bit. This should be 10 by 14.4. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stamp this image on the inside. Stamp it off. And the butterfly. Now they've done the same thing on this one. Turn my butterfly that way. Same thing on the envelope. The same sort of configuration. So I will do my envelope. I'm going to grab the envelope here. And again, they've used that envelope. So again, I'm just going to ink up this one. I like to stamp that off. Use that beautiful two-tone effect. So there's my card for that one. So that's my card there. That one there done. Let me just move some of these things out of the road here. So I'm getting myself a little bit hemmed in. Open this one up because this is a different sort of fold. This one's a book fold. Again, let's pop this in here. Now, those of you that do sewing and so forth, of course, you go through your stash of nice laces, and I've got some really lovely laces somewhere. And you could also, because it's an heirloom type thing, you could also add a little bit of lace to your pages if you wanted to. Hello, Lee. Okay, so there's our card base. Now, I need to stamp our sentiment yet, but let's just grab all our bits and pieces. So, what they're saying that we need for this one is, we're going to go backwards a little bit because that butterfly there is just here. And actually, if I go back to this page, which page was it? This page, it tells us exactly what we want. So we need that little butterfly. We need anything on, actually we need this flower. So it's just that little single flower there. Do we need anything from that page? No. From this one, we need that tag. We also need this little image here, which is this one. And then we need a vellum piece, which is this piece here. So, and then we need a tag. We're going to stamp on that. I appreciate your kindness. So let's grab one of these tags. We need that larger one, I think, that one there. So let's stamp that one to start with. So I'm going to remove that one. Let's pop that there for the moment. And we need, I appreciate your kindness. As you can see, they're quite quick cards to make up. They're not too difficult. Okay, let's just stamp that right in the middle. Probably should have a foam mat underneath that. Definitely needed a foam mat underneath that. That is terrible. Okay, let's flip it over. Don't know whether I didn't put enough ink on it or it's just got too much boldness in the font. That's going to look better. That's a better. So there we go. A lot better than the other side. See, foam mats do work. Okay, so let's have a look. What else do we need to do, or what do we need to do here? Let's flip it back over again to our instructions here. So it's telling us we need, oh, I'm one piece short. I need that tag. I forgot that piece. Let's see if I can see it here. There it is. So we're going to pop adhesive on. And I've lost my tear and tape. There it is underneath that. So we need to put a strip of adhesive on the back of this one. So 2 pieces on the back of that one, a piece on down the center of this one, piece down the center of this one. Now a tiny weeny little bit on here. I'm going to cut this, I think, with my scissors. It's such a small little piece. I don't want it to rip that flower. So that's just on the flower head of that one. And then a little bit of, I'm going to pop that tape runner on the back of my vellum. Okay, now on the butterfly, we need a couple of dimensionals. So one at the top, one at the bottom, and then a couple of dimensionals on the back of my sentiment. That's okay, Leslie. Thank you very much for jumping on. We'll catch up with you later. Okay, so there are all our bits and pieces. So let's put this card together. So they have got this tag going on first, but I'm going to add, again, I'm going to add a little bit of something to this, and I'm just using my Baker's Twine Essential Pack, and this is the crumb cake. Always a little bit difficult to find the end. There it is there. And I'm just going to cut off round about, probably only need about 10 centimetres. That 10 will fold into 5. Let's make it 14. Just need a piece. And I'm just going to fold that in half. Thread that from front to back. I mean, it's a tag, it's got the little hole in it, so why not just pretty that up a little bit more? And don't want it too long because we don't want to. I'm just going to trim them off so they're the same size. Could trim them down a little bit more later on. So this piece goes on first. And we're going to pop that slightly. It's not quite in the middle and it's slightly up towards the top. So probably about there. And then this piece goes on next. So that piece is going to overlap our tag and it's going to go down towards the bottom. Put that there. And then this one's going to go over the top. Yes, Leslie, this is a kit. This is a new kit that's just recently been released. It is called, I've got the tag of it here somewhere. It's an Heirloom Arrangements. So brand new kit, make 8 cards from this. But I think you can use it for scrapbooking as well as lots of other different projects as well. And if you purchase this kit through me using the hostess code that I will be posting up over the weekend, I will be donating $7 from every kit that's purchased through me. We'll be going to the Ping Pong-A-Thon, which is raising money for to stop human slavery, or what they call modern day slavery. So, okay, so we need a little bit of this. I'm going to be using, again, that looks like that's my right side. It's a little bit brighter, so this is my wrong side. I'm going to pop a little bit of seal on this because it's very printed. I don't think you'll notice it as much. And I'm going to pop another little bit there, whereas I just feel the tear and tape is probably just that little bit. I know it's going to get covered up anyway, but I do like this seal. You only need to put a little bit on there. And then we're going to pop that. That sort of more goes up, not quite the center of that tag, but just in that sort of area there. Then we have our little flower here. And again, just got a bit of tear and tape on the back of that. Yeah, all the details for the Ping Pong-A-Thon, as I said, I will put up on the weekend. With that will be links to their site so you can go and see the different groups that they're raising money for and how their money is used. A friend of mine who has been raising money for them for the last 20-odd years actually went over to Thailand and Cambodia in January, and they took her around and showed her some of these places and some of the stories that she was sharing with us on the weekend. It just makes you cry when she says, you know, that children are being, children as young as 6 months old are being sold. Their parents don't have a huge amount of money and there's not much income because they are areas where their income is very, very limited, and some of them only see the only way out for them is to actually sell off their daughters and their sons. And she was telling us a story how a baby was sold off at about 6 months old, and another child who was about 5 years old, they drugged the baby, put the baby on the back of this other child, and sent that child out begging with this baby. It's just so sad that children have to be put through all of that. There are some areas where they live, they don't have like birth registrations, so there's no education for them because they don't exist. They don't have birth certificates and things like that. They live in small remote villages where medical assistance doesn't get to. So they don't have all of the skills. They don't have education. They don't have medical help. And the parents are just, they can't get out. The kids can't get out of these areas, and they're taken and they're used and they're sold off because that's the way the parents can only, sort of derive an income. It's just a really sad thing. So, as I said, in this month, February, and in next month, every one of these kits that I sell, I will be donating $7 towards the Ping Pong-A-Thon. And I will put links and everything up so you can go and have a look at it for yourself. But that money it does, and 100% of that money, I think, goes to, or close to 100% goes to the agencies that help all these young people. And some of the people, they said, my friend was saying that she saw a 75-year-old lady still living on the streets and as a prostitute. So, there's just nothing, there's nowhere for them to go. But the sad thing is that, some of these things are starting to happen in our country where people are being brought into the country and then made to work off their, the cost of them being allowed to live here, not by authorities, of course, but by their own, by people that are trying to abuse them. So, yeah, we've got to try to put a stop to it and bring people's awareness that these things are happening. But anyway, here's my cards. So we've got 2 beautiful cards that we've created, and I just think they're gorgeous. And then we have envelopes that go with them. So we've got 2 envelopes here. You can decorate the front of them, but as I said, just be very aware of how much you do decorate them. But I think it's a fantastic idea to put it on the back. So we've got 2 envelopes, 2 cards done. So there's 8 cards in the pack. Now, the rest of them here, they don't actually give you instructions for every single one of them, but they give you a pictorial idea of what you can do. Now, these are just ideas. You can add to this as much as you want or take away. As I said before, you could just use a couple of elements on each card and make a lot more cards. Sarah from Stampin Up created 25 the other day, and she only used around about two elements on each card front. So they work really well, and I can see me getting a lot of use out of this particular one, and I will definitely buy, Nicole, like you said, a lot more of these kits because I want to use these with some heritage style scrapbooking pages I have in mind. So I hope that's encouraged you to look at this kit. Please check out the information I'm going to post over the weekend with the host code link. So any of these kits purchased through me using my host code link will be able to, I will be donating $7 from each kit to go towards this particular fundraiser. So I think I've said enough. I'm definitely hungry because I've just finished a card class this morning and came straight on to do this. And I know my lunch is sitting out there, so I'm going to go and enjoy that. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I really do appreciate all of you coming on and joining me for this, and I just hope you really do like this this product as much as I do, because I just think it is gorgeous. And another thing too, I was just thinking too, you could very easily ink around some of these edges just to give that little bit extra lift to your cards as well. And I'd probably be inking it, may not necessarily be using the pecan pie, but definitely in a crumb cake, something just very soft that's just going to give that extra little bit of lift. As I said too, you could also add a little bit of lace to any of these as well, if you have lace hanging around. So have fun with it, enjoy, and keep an eye out for anything else that I might make with this fun and beautiful kit. So thank you very much for joining me. Take care, have a lovely day, and enjoy your weekend. Bye for now.